Good afternoon, good evening, and good day. How's everybody doing today? I hope your day is going well. Right now, I just got back from dog walking, so right now I'm counting up my earnings for the month, and I got just enough money for a Martha tent. So yeah, been walking dogs over here for about a month. It's a week, and I charge about $10, and then after that, it's $5 per dog. Um, it's very cheap in comparison to the USA. But I've been walking dogs over here, and I finally made enough money to be able to do my work. So I live over here in Mexico. For those of you that don't know, most of you don't know because it's the first video. I live over here in Mexico, and I've been working with people and getting to know the community more. I play a lot of pickleball. Ball is game with a waffle ball and a tennis, not tennis, I'd probably say ping pong like paddle and a quarter size um, uh, field or court. And you just play back and forth. You should play with more people. It's pretty fun to get to know the community over here. I play with a lot of the older people down here because in Mexico you got a lot of people that love retiring, and it's very wise to retire down here. I mean, a house over here it's usually $10 million. Over in the United States is around $600,000. Super cheap. In fact, I got a guy over here I live next to. He wants to sell it. I said, "Hey man, you got any contact information? Contact information? You let me go over there and bring some people over there, and I can sell it to you within a week." And he gave me the contact information. Now I'm over there selling his house. Um, so yeah, I've lived over here in Mexico since I was 15, 14, 17 now. Speak Spanish, good amount at the very least, more than the average Joe. And yeah, right now I'm getting everything ready to get that Martha tent. So, what's a Martha tent? Everybody might be asking. Um, I'm doing this right here for academic reasons, because I want to be able to show what I've done in the past and what I'm currently doing and what I'm working at doing. So, Martha tent. A Martha tent is a tent with negative pressure in which you have a fan and you have a humidifier in there. So you have a regular old tent or a small tent. It's about a 2x3 and then 5 feet tall. So you have a 2x3 tent, and then you have about 3 layers. So those 3 layers, not 3 layers, 3 rooms, you can put maybe 3 mushroom grain bags in there, and that will be able to support you and support anyone around you indefinitely if done properly. You can grow around 18 pounds of mushrooms a week if done properly within there. And I want to start doing that and start doing some mutations and creating some better strains. Right here, this isn't for the Martha tub, but this is for one of the projects I have been doing. This right here is Cordyceps militaris, similar to cordyceps if you've heard of it. Cordyceps is a Cordyceps, the original one over in Nepal, which I've actually been to Nepal to study the Cordyceps. Um, Over there in Nepal, they have a mushroom called Cordyceps, and this Cordyceps grows on insects up in the Nepal Kathmandu Mountains. So if you go up in the mountains and you dig a lot, you can probably possibly find 1 or 2 mushrooms of Cordyceps, and they actually take I believe the kind of insect they go on is caterpillars. Yes, caterpillars. Caterpillars, beetles, all kinds really. I have the Cordyceps in the room, the original ones, which I'll actually bring over here in a little bit. But the Cordyceps, it grows parasitically on these little, what are they called? Caterpillars. And while they're asleep, they put their little spores in there and they grow up, and pretty much makes the caterpillar go up top, and so that the spores can be released outside into the winds of Kathmandu and Nepal. And it needs to be done in high altitude. If not done at high altitude, then it will not grow. Many scientists have tried and attempted to. I've seen people try and attempt to, but it never works unless you're in high altitude. And in order to create a high altitude environment, about a couple, I had like $10,000 if you want to create the pressure of needed to create these mushrooms. So it's very hard to create cordyceps, the original strain from up in Nepal. But right here, what I have is Cordyceps militaris. Cordyceps militaris is another branch off of species which can grow in grains and so many more. Plan on growing a buttload of them, a bunch of them, and I really hope to be able to grow enough for the community over here and be able to make enough for people around here. So that's just one of the things I want to grow, cordyceps. I am also trying out a new technique of sterilizing the culture. The culture is a protein base, such as honey, corn syrup, or whatever you want to put in there that will grow a mycelium, which we hear in this one, so mycelium done properly. And it can also grow, unfortunately, mildew and cobweb mold and all that. So I'm trying out a new technique where I use microwave it for 10 minutes straight, and I really do hope that works. If so, it's going to save me a lot of money, a lot of time of having to use a pressure cooker. Now, I do need to use pressure cookers for grain spawn bags and for all the stuff. Granted, just it's a pain in the butt, that's all I can say, to pressure cook stuff. At the same time, I love doing it because, it's sterile and it's done properly. I love the craft of growing mushrooms. But in the Marla tub, if I didn't get it across to you, it's very much just a tent with negative pressure, meaning air is being blown out like a vacuum or being sucked out, and then air is coming in through the bottom so that there's full air going through the entirety of the Martha tub. And then you have a humidifier in there at the bottom, which the vacuum pulls up all the humidity to the top so that all the mushrooms can get their proper nutrients and proper humidity that they need. Later on, I'm going to go into another video, maybe a little bit later, about how flushes work and how to tell when something's flushing properly and vice versa. But yeah, I'm going to invest my money into a Martha tub, and not Martha tub, Martha tent. It's in Martha tent, and yeah, the reason why I even got into mycology was because I always wanted to be able to mess with the genetic material a humane way. So mushrooms are a good way to do it. Plants are a good way to do it, and yeah. So I want to get into genetic engineering, and this right here is just one step closer I can get to it. Now, another thing I do with mycology, and I want to bring this up because this is another thing I'm doing as a academic pro, and for me to be able to grow my roots and my mycelium a lot farther, is I am actually going out to the community. I'm offering free services to teach people. So I'm going to have that meeting put on to YouTube here, that Zoom meeting on YouTube here. And yeah, so I'm pretty much teaching people how to do this, how to do that, how to grow mushrooms, the easy and efficient way to do it. For the most part, that's it. That's all I can say for now. I'm currently teaching a bunch of people, and I hope that I can put that on YouTube here. I hope that I can put that on here so that I can show you guys what you guys can be learning if you want to have one-on-one lessons. Of course, everything's free. Thank you for watching this video. Have a lovely day, and kumbaya.